So all
And
these
maybe
freedoms weren't really freedoms, you're saying, like all these freedoms and let live and just do anything that you want in terms of sexuality were really oppressing women rather than freeing them.
I think that it depends on, obviously people are going to have different opinions. For
Mhm,
me, it really felt like it was too dangerous of an area
mhm,
to um, let loose without
mhm,
any sort of cultural boundaries. I'm not talking about, like I feel like, there are legal, rules in place about what's allowed or not, but the social and cultural norms really
mhm,
shifted. And I
mhm,
feel like those were important protections
mhm,
for young people in particular. And when those were kind of taken down, I think people were left without a lot of resources of how to navigate this area.
mhm,
Um, and and yeah, to women's detriment. And I was really grappling with what could feminism do, like if the cat's out of the bag, like what could feminism do to like reinstate some boundaries in this area. And I kind of had come to the conclusion, like, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't know how as a society we could like return to like more, what modesty.
right.
It's
Well,
how do we do that? Like,
is it feminism that let the cat out of the bag? Like, is it feminism that was so or not really? Like,
I
was
mean, it's
it
a good
feminism that
question.
really tried to free women from the oppression of modesty or from sexual, morality and all that, like, to have more freedom? Or was that just society and feminism was there on the Y
Good
side?
point. It's a good
Yeah.
point. Yeah, it's a good point. I think feminism rode the waves of that. But there were bigger cultural shifts happening for sure,
Mhm, mhm,
in the 60s and 70s. I think like the giant cultural shifts, I think that some women frame those in like feminist language, and for
mhm.
some others it was just how society was changing.
Just
And
right.
and as I started getting interested in religion, I realized how much people's religious values had created those society norms.
Mhm,
And so the increase in secularization certainly was part of that.
mhm.
And you see, like, the spirituality of the 60s and 70s was a spirituality that was specifically not religious. It was
Right.
very much, individual spirituality with like psychedelics and like that whole very hippie style. And I was, coming to feminism so many generations later and thinking, well, what have been the repercussions of this? And so when I encountered a community where women dress modestly, there are rules around sexual relations. Um, I was really drawn to it. I felt
Interesting.
like I felt like this is so powerful, and I so badly wanted to have like a really deep, beautiful, loving, committed relationship. And I had gone through years of college, thinking this is a fairy tale. Like, like, this is not maybe when I'm like 30, the men around me will mature and I'll meet someone.
Right. Wow.
And so when I started going to Shabbos meals in people's houses, and I saw these young women that, just had this kind of inner sense of confidence in themselves
Mhm.
that I didn't see in college. I saw that one thing that was very interesting to me was I met a lot of women that wanted to be a PT or OT, like go into
Right.
like therapy, you know.
Right.
And at the time, I was like, no, the world's open to you. You could be anything you want. And then I thought about like all of my friends in college who were like, I don't know what I want to do with my life, and like my mom's telling me I should just do this. And I was thinking, wow, like they're actually kind of being
Directed.
guided. Yeah,
Mhm.
like their parents are actually helping them figure out what might be best for them rather than just saying you can be anything you want, which in some ways could mean, you know, you have to figure out what you're going to
Right.
do with your life. And
Right.
that's when you're young, that can be exhilarating, and then you look back and think, I wish I had a mentor. I wish I had had guidance.
Right.